around the time when I first got diagnosed with Asperger, and even before that, I've heard so many people saying that autistic people have no empathy. They are unable to empathize with another person. This one always hurt, to be honest, because I've always been a very empathetic person, Well, truth be told, I did develop my empathy kind of late, to be honest. Perhaps at the age of 6, something like that. Before that, I had no idea that it would hurt someone if I hit them or bite them or anything like that. And that is the case for babies. You probably had, if you're a mother or your father, you probably had your baby pull your hair or hit you or scratch you or do something or even laughed at it after it happened, right? They do not consider you as a living person with their feelings and ability to experience physical or emotional pain. You need a certain level of maturity, and that is one of the first early ways a human brain matures, to develop this sort of empathy. And it is a necessary skill to develop, because how else are you going to play with your peers? How are you else you're going to play with kids of your age, whether in a sandbox or kindergarten, with your neighbors' kids or whatever? Well, for me, that didn't develop until 6 years old. So I had no interest in playing with kids at all, to be honest. I had my parents, and I guess I've seen them as providers of food and protection in a way. And that was all there was. I didn't really feel any emotional connection to my parents when I was a kid. And we developed that much later than most kids, but that does not mean that we do not develop it at all. And I think that's where this whole myth that autistic people are incapable of feeling empathy is coming from. So for some reason, people think we sort of carry those traits into our adulthood, which is not the case for most people. We are not antisocial. We are not psychopaths by any means. We do feel empathy for others. I think in a lot of cases, with people on the spectrum, it can be harder to express their feelings. Hello everyone, I'm just sitting here and editing this video when I've noticed that I forgot to mention something really important, and that is that for a lot of people on the spectrum, or well, most of us, it's not just the ability to express our feelings in normal ways that may be affected, but also the ability to read other people's feelings and intentions. And for that reason, sometimes we may be blind to other people's emotional needs, unless people are able to communicate those emotional needs in a very direct way. I'm not that good at reading other people's body language, to be honest, even though I'm obsessed with people's body language, because being a little face blind, I identify people by how they move, how they smell, what they wear, and what their haircut is like. So body language is super important for me. How people move, how they walk, what they do with their hands, or some facial expressions. But all they are to me is just an identifying factor. What someone is trying to express with that goes unnoticed, to be honest. Like, I know what it is, and I can even imitate, certain expressions, but the meaning behind them, that, the emotional depth behind them is lost for me. It's lost in translation. And I think this doctor actually explains it in a really good way. So I'll just show you the clip.
Recognise facial expressions and body language and other cues like tone of voice. And they also find it difficult to show and manage their own emotions, understand and respond to other people's emotions, or else respond in a different way to neurotypical children. And this is why it might be seen that they lack empathy. But this is all cognitive empathy. Now, affective or emotional empathy is where somebody has an emotional response to somebody else's mental state. And this is the same in autistic and neurotypical people. Autistic people care about how people are thinking and feeling and have got warmth, compassion, and concern for other people.
Or we might express them in different ways, which might seem like we don't care. And I remember this woman. She was I don't want to disclose too much, but she was a mother of someone I knew. She told me a very personal story, and my reaction was to just leave the room and say nothing. And at that time, that was my way of expressing that, you know what, I felt affected by hearing it. So I needed some alone time. She interpreted it as me being rude and dismissing his story altogether.